All right, guys, welcome back to another episode here.
We're celebrating we're still here.
Yeah, nice, that's awesome.
Attribute of golf and
G'day, mate. We've got Jeremy from Mountee. G'day, mate. How you going?
good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, going good. It's great to talk to you. We've been talking a lot on Instagram lately, and I just thought you'd be a perfect person for another episode of. I don't really have a name for this segment yet, so if you've got anything cool, I'd love to run with it. But yeah, I'm just
I'll have a think as we go along.
good man. So, mates, talk to me about Mountee. Where did this come from? Who's involved? How long has it taken you to get to where you are? And yeah, where do you guys see yourselves going?
So it came through COVID. I was making my own head covers. I'm a chef before that.
Okay. Yep.
So I was obviously spent a lot of time at home, living in inner city Melbourne. I didn't have a whole lot to do. I was in lockdown, so I just bought a sewing machine and was making my own head covers from home, and kind of thought there's got to be another option out there or there's got to be more people that want the same thing as me and that wanted kind of cool different head covers and could make their bag look as good as possible. So Tom and I kind of put our brains together and yeah, kind of came up with a format of what we stand for and what our brand would look like on paper. And then the more we thought about it, the more we kind of got the confidence to go ahead with it. So we're celebrating 12 months just gone.
Yep.
So since we
Congratulations.
opened, thank you. We're still here. And pretty early on in the process, we got Tom's brother to join the team. Works in the fashion industry. He works for Wrangler, so he was a really good head to have as part of the team. And yeah, and he's pretty much. He's not a big golfer, but he's starting to get into it as we go.
Yeah, nice. That's awesome. So, what are your goals? What are you trying to achieve?
I don't know. I just at the moment, I think there's lots of brands starting up. So I think when we first started this, there was not so many, and I think maybe we're not the only ones that have this bright idea during COVID. As you can see, they're popping up left, right, and centre now. But yeah, just to be a different option. I've never really been in the golf culture. I've kind of people I've played golf with have always been skateboarders, or I've played a bit of footy, so lots of footy boys, and I've just I've never kind of assimilated with the golf culture, and I think there's with this massive boom during COVID of people getting involved in the game, you could see that they wanted to be playing the sport, but just didn't feel comfortable in the environment, which I think is changing pretty rapidly, which is good. So we just want to be another option. There's no throwing shade at what's out there at the moment, but I think there just has to be an option for everyone, sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. You're 100% correct. There's not hundreds, but there's a lot of companies that are starting to do a lot of the same stuff, and a lot of guys, they've got polos, they've got hats, they've got covers, ball markers, divot tools, all that sort of stuff, and there's a lot out there, and like obviously the prices are very different as well. So it's just about looking at what someone else is doing and then trying to make it your own, which I think is really, really great. You've got to make it your own so that people find a unique thing inside your brand that clicks with them and they go, I like Mountee. This is
Yeah, that's exactly right. We want people to resonate with, I think it's pretty obvious when you look at what we're making and the way that we represent our brand is we're going for kind of an old school look. And I think the beauty of golf that separates it from lots of other sports, I've played lots of football and lots of team sports over the years, and you have to wear a uniform and you all look the same. Where the beauty of golf is you can kind of, there might be, you might have to wear a collar at some places, but you can really express yourself in heaps of different ways. So that's kind of an exciting attribute of golf. And I think the history of golf fashion is so cool. If you look at, Arnold Palmer back in the day was one of the swaggiest dudes going around. So I think just a new, fresh look on an old kind of concept is what we're kind of going for.
Yeah, and that's great. And I don't know if you've noticed, especially in the golf world right now, is that people are getting back to some of that cool retro stuff. Like I personally, I love wearing shirts that stand out. Like I've got a couple of brands behind me now that some people look at you and go, why is he wearing that? But I love it. I think it's fantastic. I don't know if you've seen any of my videos, but I wear this cool shirt from Big Wings. They're a company in America, just same as you guys. They're just starting out, and they've got these three really unique polos that you wear it and you get seen straight away. You know what I mean? So everyone's got to be really unique in what they're bringing out, and it's really cool. It's really cool what you do, because you're not just based on one thing either. Where some companies are purely polos. You've got hats, you've got covers, you've got all types of stuff. So it's really nice to see a range for people to actually go and say, well, I'm going to go and have a look at this.
Yeah, I agree. I think with golf, there's so many different ways you can express yourself. I mean, obviously, clothes is a standout one, but I think there's definitely a culture of people carrying bags and old school Jones bags and stuff like that. But yeah, down to old, I wear old FootJoys as well, and it's about the only Titleist things I wear these days. But they're so good. Like the old Premiers, they look epic, I think. So it's cool.
Absolutely. Question for you with your team: who's the best player in your team?
Ooh, Tommy was the first one. He was the first one to commit to it but he's had a kid since, so he's fallen back a little bit. So I think I've just overtaken him, but we played yesterday and he beat me on the front and I beat him on the back. So it's pretty even, yeah. And I play a lot. So for him to come, and he hasn't played in about 6 weeks, and for him to still hit the ball pretty well, it's a credit to him for sure. It's pretty close.
Some players have that ability. I played with a guy who could not play for 3 weeks and just come back where he left off, snap, bang. He's hitting everything straight. He hits every wedge that he can imagine. He hits every putt, and you're like, I've played every weekend for this month, and I'm still better than what you've just walked into. Like, I hate you.
Exactly. So, yeah, I think he reckons he gets better when he puts the clubs away for a bit. So
yeah, well,
he's just thinking about the fundamentals.
Yeah, well, I've got an exercise physiology degree, and like looking back at all that sort of stuff, you think of the muscle memory, and you do get to a point in learning where you have to stop so that your brain and muscles and nerves actually learn that rhythm. So if you're using running as an example, I used to run marathons and stuff like that. If you run every day, you don't give your body enough rest and time to actually recover and learn exactly what it needs to do on a daily basis, so that you're doing your overload too much, and then it's never really coming back so that you can go again. Same with golf. I think if you're doing a swing pattern, especially if you're getting coaching, you do probably have to step away just a little bit and just let that muscle memory stick. I
agree. I think it's pretty helpful when you have a couple of weeks off, and I feel like you've forgotten the things that you worry about as well. Sometimes if there's one shot you haven't been pulling off recently, it's in the back of your head all the time, where with a couple of weeks off, you kind of forget about it and you refresh.
Yep. Next question, mate. We've got 2024. It's only just started. What do you boys want to get out of this year?
We've got a lot of things. We kind of had a lot of products in the making already. We've probably got the next 2 drops. So we're going to do a drop every season. We've got the next one and the next 2 already sorted, which we're really, really excited about. And I think, clothing that people are not really making is going to be a big thing we focus on. I feel like lots of people are doing polos and lots of people are doing t-shirts and stuff and hats, but there's just a few other products out there that less people are doing. I think pants, people don't concentrate on pants as much and stuff like that. So, and wet weather gear as well. We found, there's a few spray jackets going around, but I think the major brands, the big brands, really have a kind of monopoly on that. So, that's something we're focusing on. But yeah, definitely always going to have the head covers as a major focus for us. but yeah, continue building a community. I think we've got pretty close with some of the people in Melbourne, and we really want to spend a bit more time hanging out with them. And yeah, there's a really good Melbourne golf community brewing. I think Sydney's in a really great spot, and I like what they're doing. And they seem, from the outside, it looks like they're all building something quite special up there. But I think Melbourne's kind of really coming along in that as well. So it's pretty exciting.
Yeah. Melbourne's definitely like in the Victorian sort of area. It's definitely growing. I've noticed a lot of. I'm in Ballarat, and I've noticed that like Ballarat's just booming. Every time you go out and play golf, it seems to be another, 5, 10, 15 people out when at your tee time that you're like, oh, sweet. But like this is why I started. What I started was to involve others and not sort of be that individual page that's only in it for himself to get views and followers and endorsements. I'm out here because I want to get people to know Mountee. I want people to get to know you. So that's why the interview process, of course, is so that people can see you've got your site and you've got your page, but they don't actually know Jeremy. So that's kind of what I'm trying to build, is a community where everyone can come together and just play golf, learn about what Mountee is, learn about what this brand does or that brand does or this golf crew. So that's kind of what I'm trying to build. So you're definitely correct. In Victoria, it's actually ticking along really well. I've been able to secure I've been able to secure a lot of PGA guys who are willing to come on and chat with me as well. So not US PGA, Australasia, which has been awesome.
That's great.
We're definitely building something really special here, and it's great that you want to come across and sort of be around us too. So that's great.
Yeah, I played in the Tee It Up podcast golf day last week, and
how was it?
Yeah, it was great. It was a really good day. There was lots of Geelong footy boys there, and kind of lots of small businesses that are kind of making their mark in their own way as well. And
cool.
Yeah, I think Benny Eccles has a lot to do with Tee It Up. I think he might have kind of been one of the instigators with Q behind that, and you can tell there was just I think there was like 140 people there, and there's just a real community growing, and Q's doing a really good job of that for sure.
Yeah, he's killing it. I keep a really close eye on what he's doing. I followed the actual golf day just on Instagram. I would have loved to have come down, but some things were sort of behind the scenes, as we all get. But it was actually really cool to watch, and like I keep a bit of an eye on Clutch and Co, and they were putting stuff up all day, so it was really great. I kind of felt like I didn't miss out, so that was really well organised by Q. So kudos to him for that, and he's just a brilliant fella, and he's he plays really good golf, so he sort of got
he had a couple of drives.
He's a good golfer, but he's also very good at his podcast and organising a lot of other people to come together for a really great cause, which is something I'll look to attempt at the end of this year. We might do a little event, so if you're interested, love to be the first one to invite you over. So
that sounds great, mate. I'd love that.
So I'm just going to get a whole bunch of people that I communicate with and really take a lot of inspiration from in the golf world, and try and get them together. Just maybe we'll pick a charity and try and get everyone together, and we'll just pump something out. So
good work, mate. That's great. That's super exciting.
Yeah, no, I'm really happy with where I'm at and stuff like that. So it's been good. Speaking of the word inspiration, what inspires you guys?
The product inspiration comes, like I said, from that bygone era, largely kind of 60s, 70s, that kind of era, the fashion around that time. And really nice materials. I feel like there's lots of really good looking products around, and one of the struggles I had with most of the kind of golf clothes was the materials that they were made out of. I didn't really like the feel of wearing them. They just weren't to my taste, really. So those two things are what inspires our products, is really nice materials and a kind of vintage look. What inspires me to do the brand in general, to to get up every day and keep working at it is seeing the golf landscape changing. I think I played Royal Park yesterday, and they're kind of there. I think later this month they're doing night golf, and it's like 4 holes, and I think they've got a beer sponsor there, and it's the. I think the landscape of golf is not just playing 18 holes on a Saturday from 10:30. There's so many different types of golf, and I'm here for a lot of them. I reckon it's really exciting on a few different levels of the way that it could be just driving range golf, simulator golf. Um, all of it's just changing, and I think that's really cool about the sport.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. It's not definitely not all about that competition on a Saturday where the scratch guys are the guys who are get out of our way sort of stuff. It's you know, four blokes might wake up at 10:30 and all they want to do is just enjoy each other's company and just actually
Yeah,
escape from other things. Whether work has pandered them for the week, kids or wife, just you know anything going on in this, they just get away and they can escape for 4 or 5 hours with their mates and just and with a brand like Mountee, like they could look good doing it. So
exactly. I
yeah,
think I think everyone wants to look good all the time, and there's such an opportunity to do it while playing golf. I think it's exciting. I think it's everyone in the golf kind of landscape is getting a bit more open minded, and it's good. It's not all just major brands out there anymore. Which is the more like you said, Clutch and Co. You see that fairly regularly on
yep,
courses now, and I play quite a lot of different courses, and yeah, it's cool. Even in small towns, you definitely see some smaller brands and people wearing some really cool stuff. So it's exciting.
we touched on before you're going to do a drop every season, and I did ask like what goes in, but how you've only got a couple of months per season. How flat out are you guys?
Pretty busy. There's a lot of going back and forth between the three of us. We're three pretty different people, and our ideas are very different. But I think what we when we bring it together and all agree on one thing, we make some pretty special things. So it is exciting. It is exciting, and there's lots of ideas get thrown out there. We get heaps of samples, and lots get left on the cutting room floor. But yeah, I think we've kind of got a good. We're fastening that process of. I think we're getting better at realizing what we like, and I think quality for us is really important. I think for a new brand, you only get kind of one first impression. So we want when it gets into people's hands, we want them to think, "Wow, this is impressive," and we don't want to disappoint people. So it does the R&D does take a long time, but yeah, we've kind of got a few banked up and ready to go. So
Nice.
fingers crossed, nothing changes in that time, but it can always happen at the last minute.
Have you got any inventory on you at the moment?
No,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm actually moving house at the
You
moment,
can't
so
give
I'm
us a
wearing
sneak
one
peek.
now.
You can't give us a sneak
I
peek of next
can't,
season.
unfortunately.
Oh, come on, man.
Well, I'm sitting in an empty house at the moment. I move out of this house tomorrow morning, so
Nice.
um, I don't have much in here at all, if I'm honest.
All sweet, mate. All good. I just thought I'd ask, try and get a little sneak peek, a little exclusive. um, all right. I'm going to ask you about 10 questions, just firing off. What's your handicap?
14.
When did you get that?
When did I get my handicap?
Yeah, when did you get the 14?
Oh, so I went traveling last year for 6 months, and before I left, I was at 10.
Yep.
And in the last, yeah, so ever since I've got back, it's just steadily gone up.
Okay.
So I'm
It'll come
going the
down.
wrong way.
No, it'll
Yeah,
come down. It'll be fine.
I hope so.
What's your favourite club in the bag, mate?
Driver.
Driver.
Yeah,
Best score?
79.
Hell, that's impressive.
Mm.
What's your favourite course you've ever played?
Ooh, favorite course I've ever played. I actually love. I'm a member at Lonsdale at the moment. I'm having a lot of fun playing down there, but probably Barnbougle.
Yeah, nice. I like that.
Yeah.
Never played there, but I do like that. Just for your information, Golf Crew Australia. Have you ever heard of those people?
No.
So they're like a future golf, I guess you could sort of call it. But what they do is they have a person in each state who runs their competitions. I'm the Victorian one. I've just been picked up to do that.
Great.
Our final, so the season goes along and it's called the season to the last place you play. So race to the last place.
Yep.
And our last one is Lonsdale Links.
Oh, really?
I have to get you
Awesome.
there. I have to get you there.
Yeah, I'd love to come down. It's such a good course, and at the moment with the rain and the hot weather we've had, it's in such good condition. They're doing a really really good job of it. So it's a really really fun course.
Cool. Well, you're our MVP VIP for that event. You're there. I like that.
Awesome. Perfect.
We're gonna have you along. That's awesome. I know everyone I've done this on has answered the exact same. If you could go and play any course in the world, where is it?
I'm guessing everyone said Augusta, have they?
Yes.
Yeah, nah. I'd be too scared I'd break a rule and I'd get kicked out of something. Any course in the world. I mean,
Anywhere.
probably St Andrews.
Okay. Old course?
St Andrews. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the old course. I went and had a look at it when on my travels last year, and it's cool. I think the environment, the vibe of the town in general. It's lots of uni students, and there's a strong recognition of the past, and
Yeah, wow.
I'm here for that. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Did you try and get on?
Yeah.
Did you
No
have to
good.
wait in line, or it was just no, not?
Yeah, it was wild. We stayed in Scotland for about 3 weeks, and it was not going to happen. I couldn't. My wife was not going to wait in line with me, and it was a little bit too much to ask.
Fair enough. Who's your favourite professional golfer?
Rory.
Rory.
Yeah,
Why is that?
I think Rory's good to watch. I think his swing looks awesome. I think he
Perfect.
carries himself pretty well, and
Yeah.
he's a bit of a killer as well, which I like.
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't won many majors recently, but you can see when he's kind of bouncing down the fairways, he's got his confidence up, and
Oh shit, yeah.
he's ready to do some damage.
His Ryder Cup performance was just insane.
That shot he hit, that nipping wedge, yeah, that's absurd.
I watched that video so much, and I'm just like, I still don't know how you did it, because it bounced and then it just went, and it just stopped. I'm like, but it bounced like it should. All that spin should be gone, but it's like it amplified.
Yeah, if that had gone in, it might have been. Well, his other shot was probably shot of the year, so he would have been competing against himself. But that would have been shot of the year if it had gone in.
I love that shot at the was it the Genesis?
The Scottish?
Yeah, just that 2-iron or whatever it was, and it just trickled around.
2-iron fade into the wind. That was absurd, and made the putt to go with it.
If I hit a 2-iron like that, it's at the back of the green, like it's over the back. I don't know what he did, how he did it, but that's why he's a pro and I'm an 18 handicap.
Yeah.
do you like? Because he's resigned now. Did you like the way he handled the live stuff?
Yeah, I'm not too fast with it, to be honest. I think he's tried to do what he thought was right, and I respect that. And I think he's lost a lot of fans because of it. But I think in hindsight, he's kind of looked, and I think he said in the media in that podcast with those old Manchester boys last week, I think he said like he's perhaps was a bit too harsh, but I think he felt under attack, and I think what he cared about was under attack. So you can easily get frustrated and get your back up. But
correct.
In hindsight, everyone could have done better things. I think there was too many things that went wrong, and it was a bit of a collusion of all different things. But everyone had a part to play in it. But I think what he stood up for what was right, and I think that's what you got to do.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that. He it was like I don't know if this is the right analogy, but it was like a big brother, like an older brother having a newborn son, and he was newborn brother, and he was trying to hang on, I'm confused about who this is, and trying to assert like, well, this the PGA is where we play. What's this new thing coming along? But I think he handled it very well. I think he was very professional about it. There might have been some comments and some answers that, yeah, as you said, he lost a lot of fans from. But at the end of the day, he's a fantastic golfer, and I think we all respect the way he goes about his day to day. So.
Yeah, exactly, and I think what he could have gained from the whole thing as well says like speaks volumes. He could have by far been the highest paid player in the world, and
100%.
he said no to it for what he thought was right, and that whether you like him or not, I think I think that does speak volumes.
100%, mate. I'm going to change this question just because. The question is usually, what is your golf dream? But I'm just going to ask you, just what is your dream? With golf or with Mountee, or both?
I love what we're doing, and people at Mountee, people are connecting with it and resonating with it, and I'm really excited about what we've got coming up and where we can go. So my dream is pretty much for it to go along the same path. It's pretty exciting, and we get really good feedback, which is good. And I think none of us are working on it full time at the moment. And I think I'd love to walk into MTG headquarters each day with Tom and Joel there, and that's what I'm aiming for. My goal is not to be a multi-billion-dollar company. It's just to do what we're doing, and in the short term, in the immediate future, kind of just get our plan out and focus on the in-house, because I think we're pretty happy with the way it's going at the moment.
Yeah, it's perfect. I think you've answered that one really well, mate. It shows that you're just you saying you don't want a multi-billion-dollar company just proves that you're there for the people, and you want people to see you as that really relatable human, and they'll be like, oh sweet, we really like his gear. They make great gear. They look for quality over quantity. They have sent back designs. No, we don't want that, because you're after perfection, which is what we want, because you want us to go and go, I'm never not buying another one of their caps or shirts or jackets or anything like that. So that's really great.
Exactly, and I think I'm not a massive internet shopper, and it's I like to see things and put them on before I wear them, and I respect and understand that that's difficult for some people to do, to buy it without seeing it. So, and there's nothing more frustrating than buying something and getting it, and you're like, it's not exactly what I had in my mind. We want people to be happy, and it's a really important focus for us. So we hold ourselves to doing the best work we can.
Love it. That's perfect, mate. And this can be as a team or just you. Who has been your biggest influence on what you're doing right now?
Ooh. In the golf industry?
Yeah, in Mountee. So who's your biggest? Who do you? Well, whether the other two, who do you boys look at and go, yes, that's why we get up to do that?
I think the formulation of some of my views came from Eric Anders Lang. I think when I was getting into golf, and he was the one that I felt like I understood, and I was in our day-to-day lives. I felt that that's someone I would hang out with, and I could resonate with that part of golf where perhaps I hadn't delved in enough yet to know that there was a bit more of that around. But he was the first one where I was kind of like, I feel that, and I like that. That's part of a culture that I can be in. And it took me a while to work out that there's plenty of that in golf. It's just their subcultures. So he was a big influence of me, of sticking to golf and realizing more about it, and perhaps not looking at it as so much of a sport, but more of a social activity, I think, is what he's doing, and the way he gets his message across is pretty powerful. And I think I've always been a pretty competitive person. I've played a lot of football, and it was always to win. And it's nice to, as I've got a little bit older, it's nice to play golf and sport just for the fun of it,
Just to enjoy it.
and think, yeah. And it's really changed the whole way that I go about golf. So that he was the one that's inspired my kind of golf mentality the most, I think.
Yeah, perfect. That's great. I definitely am the same as you. I played a lot of footy when I was younger, and it was always to win a premiership or to get looked at by a TAC Cup side or something like that. So you're always sort of going, what do I need to do to stand out? But as you get older, it's how do I fit in? If that's
Sure.
like how can I just slip into a golf club and not stand out and not be at the bottom? How can I slot in nicely? And I don't know. You seem like a really awesome like personality type that like if I got linked up with you in a tea time, I'd be stoked. So
Yeah, it's quite daunting like that, right? You play football and you go with the same 18 blokes every week,
yeah,
and you know them really well, and you spend a lot of time with them. Where golf, I've changed a few clubs now. I've been to probably 5 or 6 clubs in Melbourne and Geelong, and I haven't I've stayed at each one for about 12 months because I just like playing at different courses,
yeah,
and each time you go there and each weekend you're with a new bunch of blokes, and it's or women as well, and it's daunting.
it
It's
is.
hard, and it's scary to just play with people you don't know. I play a lot with my friends as well at different courses, but I do like to play in different groups and meet new people.
Oh,
So
100%.
it's it's stressful sometimes, though. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's good. I just want to get your perspective on one thing. When I first started playing, I went to Drummond Golf, and I was just talking to the guy behind the counter about. It was just more about like trying to get over my fear of playing with people who are just that little bit better than me, or like I was feared I was going to be made fun of while playing, and we both sort of agreed on one thing in the line of if you're playing with say a scratch or a one to five, you sort of get looked after a bit. Like they try and help you, and they sort of try to really mold you into the round and try not to make you feel so scared. Where you can get with some 19s and 20s, and they think their shit don't stink, and you're like, like oh Jesus, that was shit house, or something like that. Like the other day, I was playing around, and I was following these two guys who didn't really seem like they played that much, and I sort of caught up to them, and they sort of like looked back at me, and they're like, "How's it going?" And then proceeded to tee off, and I'm like, "Oh, guys, like I should go because I seem to be a bit quicker." Something like that, and I
Yeah,
was like, "Oh," but yeah, I thought the Drummond guy nailed it. It's the sort of zeros to fives that are really happy to have you along, but it's the higher guys that have that like that I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like they have that bee in the bonnet. Like oh no, you can wait, or oh that was shit.
yeah.
I can't believe you're a shit putter and stuff. And you're like, that's why I'm a high handicap because
And I
I'm not good at
think,
one thing.
yeah, I think, I think, unfortunately, there's those people in at every level, but I think if you're a low handicapper, you've seen everything. You've seen the good golfers, you've seen the bad golfers, and you've played with all of them. It takes a lot of playing golf to get there.
Exactly.
Um, so they're kind of unfazed by all of it for the most part, and and I think golf has a bit of an image problem where before you get into golf, you know about the fact that you have to play really fast, or you should play really fast, and you can't hold people up, and there's all these etiquette rules, and people getting into it, they enforce them because that's been drummed into them before they even hit a ball.
Yeah.
So, and I think like you don't have to try and play fast. I think if you just play golf, for most people, it should be pretty free flowing. It shouldn't take 4 hours to play around a golf unless it's windy or it's tough course. Then it doesn't take 4.5 hours. It just doesn't.
Yeah. I agree.
And I'm not a great golfer, so if I can do it in 3.5, in a group of four, I think everyone should. Pretty much everyone can.
I agree, 100%. One thing with the the low handicap, as I was sort of thinking about as you were saying, it was, I think the reason is because they've been there and done that. They've been through a high handicap phase. They've been slowly chipping away, and they see a high handicap on their score sheet. Oh, he's a 19. I think they have a little bit more of that. It doesn't matter. Like, we'll just coast him through. We'll help him out. All that sort of stuff. Like, they know it. They know it's hard because they've been there before. So that's why I like playing with scratches or fives or whatever. And then as well as that etiquette you talk about, like I like to play ready golf. So while my playing partner is doing what he's doing, I'm looking behind my ball, looking for the best angle of attack, trying to choose my club. As soon as he hits it, I'm addressing my ball. Like, you don't have to wait for him to.
You're ready to go. You're
ready to go. So as soon as he flicks his in, you're almost flicking yours up, and you're both just moving up at the same time. Or even in a group of four, it's almost easier because while Jeremy's hitting, T's getting ready, and then Chappy's getting ready.
Yeah.
And you're sort of just playing off each other. As soon as one goes, your next go. It's not hard. So.
No, I'm not someone who gets overly frustrated about slow play, but I do think it's easily addressed. I think. It just shouldn't take that long. It is going to happen every now and again, but it's kind of if you just keep going and don't kind of stop and wait for too much stuff, it just really shouldn't take that long, I don't think.
Nah. Last question. Would you rather play by yourself, in a pair, or in a four?
In a four.
Yeah. Like the big ones? Nice.
Yeah, right. I think a four is good. I love playing golf by myself, and I play a fair bit of golf by myself as well, especially because I'm a chef. I often get Monday, Tuesdays off, so I'm more than happy to go play golf by myself. But I think four is good fun.
Four is great fun.
Yeah, it's good. You can play little side games in it as well, which makes it even more fun. I was just about to ask
you that. In the four, what is your favourite thing to do? Do you play Wolf? Do you play Stableford? Stroke? What's
any team. So if it's 2-on-2 scramble, I'm about that. I really enjoy playing scrambles. I think it gets back to just having fun, and it releases the stress of hitting a bad shot a bit. So I love that format. But match play, I think, is the way to do it. Yeah, I think if you're talking about kind of playing faster as well, when you're out of it, you can
you just pick it up.
Pick it up. Let's go to the next hole. Yeah, it's good. And sometimes you just know exactly what you're being asked. You know what you have to do. You know that you have to hit one close because the other person has. So it kind of makes your decision making for you.
Yeah, nice. I like that. I actually, when I first started golf, so I've only been in golf 12 months now. When I first started, I watched the Farmers Union Insurance event, which Max Homer won last year. So he's my favourite player based on that. I love Maxi. Plus, I love his Twitter. He's just
he's great, isn't he?
I love it. Yeah. So from that, I got really stuck into the 4 rounds of stroke, and I was like, oh yeah. And then I watched one, and it was I think it's the Dell. Is it the Dell match play? And I was like, I sort of straight away, I was like, this sucks. I don't like this at all. But ever since I've started to work out how match play actually works, I really enjoy it.
Yeah, there's a lot more strategy or just different strategy, not more strategy, but there's. I think to watch professional golfers play match play is awesome.
Cool. Yeah, it is. It's really cool. Question for you personally: can I come and play with you guys one day?
Definitely. Yeah, I'd love to have you.
Awesome. Let's work that out. That'll be good fun. We'll meet up somewhere in the middle, and we'll just have a really good day of it.
Beautiful. That sounds great.
Hey legends, just wanted to give a massive shout out and thanks to Jeremy from Mountee Golf for coming on the pod. It was awesome to have you. Great insight, mate. Looking forward to what's next for us. Legends, go to mounteegolf.com.au to get your caps, your polos, your shirts, your head covers, your tees, your tee bags, everything. Shoot those guys a follow and some comments. Brilliant bunch of boys. Can't wait to catch up soon.